welcome back to another episode of the Chaosium House RuneQuest campaign, The White Bull. I'm Jeff Richard, and I'll be your game master tonight. As always, I want to thank my players, Claudia Loroff, Linda Borkin, Richard August, Philip Glass, and Neil Robinson. Why don't you guys go around, introduce yourself and your characters.
Hi, my name is Neil Robinson, and I am playing Nisk. Nisk is an Orlanth adventurous initiate who's recently become a lay member of Stormbull.
Yay!
Who hasn't?
Hi, I am Linda, and I play Nkala Troublemaker. I am a Stormbull shaman, a completely natural mix there. High Llama rider, and I've been a Stormbull for a long time. Yeah.
I'm Richard August. I play Garen Grimseeming, a Humacti bodyguard, who is desperately trying to learn to ride and not doing a particularly good job.
Hey, but are you a lay member of Stormbull as well?
I am a lay member of Stormbull, yes.
Wow. Okay, let's go on to the next lay member of Stormbull. Aren't you one, Colbrest?
I am one, yes, but okay. Yeah, I'm Philip. I play Colbrest One Arm, mainly a wolf pirate, but now sort of, on land and getting used to it, and also a new lay member of Stormbull.
And finally, I believe our only non-Stormbull lay member.
Exactly. I'm playing Gina Ghost Friend. She is a believer in Taikora Tech, and she loves to stay in necropolis crypts, loves to dance with ghosts and try to control them. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. And she's very disappointed that the block is not a real graveyard because it had no vibrations to her.
Okay, well, we didn't select who was going to give the recap of the last session beforehand, so I'm just going to volunteer Richard because he had a lot going on last session.
Oh, so this will be my second in a row, I'll point out.
That's okay, so you won't do the next one, I hope.
Okay, so after spending another week with the Stormbull Berserkers at the block, where Nisk was being fated and we were generally sort of enjoying ourselves, we headed to the Paps. Oh no, we stopped on the way.
I wonder do you remember where you stopped?
Where did we stop? Yeah, it's a good question. I remember I didn't like it.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
I believe he stopped at a temple.
What happened at the altar?
We may have stopped for a short while at a temple to Humact, possibly.
I had to give you. I had to let you into my graveyard because I threw you out.
I went and gave an enormous gift to Humact to demonstrate my loyalty and my love for my god, and then managed to fail my role.
I believe it's impossible to fail this roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I rolled a 98 despite having over 100%, I managed to fail. And so spent a little bit of time covered in ashes in a necropolis where Gina was not especially happy with the company. And as Gina has a tendency to do, kept encouraging suicide. Because
it's a wonder you're still alive.
It really is.
That entire scene, all that was running through my head was the old soundtrack to the television show MASH. The song "Suicide is Painless."
But I can take or leave it as I choose.
As you can. Very good.
I left it on that occasion. And then we headed to the Paps, to the Great Earth Temple there, where we went, well, most of us went down into the deep underground.
Actually,
No, only Gina did.
Only Gina went. I thought, didn't Carla go? No. Okay, only Gina went into the deep underground to pay her tribute to Tai
Koratek.
And emerged even more determined to make us all kill ourselves. We also killed some hyenas. That was good. And now we are heading back to Pavis and to our White Bull mandated area of the Big Rubble.
Right, but we also commissioned a white sable so that we can use to get the spirit in when we get back.
Okay. And I did a little bit more thinking about what that actually takes the form of looking like, and it's basically a small clay ceramic image of a sable, probably hollow, made out of fired clay that has been painted white and has some magic Aretha symbols put on it. Aretha is the goddess of the herds. So you have this nice little cute bit of kitschy ceramic. I visited the Paps and look at the cool trinket I'm bringing home. So, you got that going for you. All right. So with that, the trek back from the Paps goes and we'll just narrate this hopefully through fairly quickly. It goes over the Aretha Hills, which are about, they're pretty good sized hills. They go up to 450, 400 meters above, but they're not big mountains or anything. They're basically steep hills that aren't too high. Most of them are very dry, but because you're coming from the Paps, they give you permission to go over the trail that has grasslands through. So it's got a narrow valley with grass at the bottom. And so it's because if I recall, you guys are actually herding a sizable herd of animals at this point. How many is it?
Well, we sold most of them, but we did have, I actually have 2 animals. I think everyone else has 1, but we also picked up another 4 at the block.
Yeah.
So you've got another 6 animals in total beyond your riding beasts?
At least 5, if not 6. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a big herd, but it's still something that it's probably a good thing to be able to feed them and water them every day. And you guys go through the Aretha Hills. And this is all area, and in Kala, this. These hills are sacred to the Praxian people. Your people get very upset when non-Praxians are in this hill, except with the permission of the priestesses of the Paps.
Yeah, and no one defies the priestesses of the Paps.
No Praxian defies the priestesses of the Paps. The priestesses of the Paps. And it takes about a day to go over these hills, and then you're faced with crossing the long dry and then on to the River of Cradles. This time of year, the long dry isn't actually all that dry. This is a dark season, so there might even be dustings of snow, like in some of those pictures. There certainly was snow in the Aretha Hills as you went through it, and you guys go across it. And the one thing that's kind of worth storing behind is the long dry is an area that once once you enter it, there really isn't any source of water until you get on the other side. Hence the reason it's called the Long Dry. So it's a place that you wouldn't want to get stuck in for most of the year. But there's a darkness season, storm season, sea season, it's probably okay. But fire season, earth season, it's it's sand.
Yep. So inadvertently we timed this quite well.
Inadvertently, you timed this brilliantly for you all. You all, the final last thing that I pointed out is you guys did get a fair number of gifts from the StormCon there at the block. You all got, if I recall, a piece of true stone, a blank true stone. To remind you what that is actually something from the block. So it's a tiny little piece off the block that one way or another has come out, and the StormCon has decided you all are worthy enough to have a piece of the block. So for them, it is, for the Storm Bulls, that is a great honor for you all. I threw into the thread that it's also got some mundane and magical effects that are pretty significant. And then after that, the rest of the gifts that these StormCon gave you were several animals, another 4 animals, plenty of food, water skins, etc. So you all actually are, thanks to those guys, pretty well equipped. And then you just head across the Long Dry. It's 2 days across the Long Dry from the Aretha Hills until you get to the steps that ring Pavis County. So I'm not thinking, nothing much happens here. That's the one good thing about the Long Dry. But I imagine that after 2 days of no water except what you carry, and nothing except for what you carry, you guys are awfully glad when you get to the steps where the grass starts growing again and you can see the River of Cradles beneath you.
And where is that on the map?
Okay. Which map do you...
Yeah.
Let me throw up.
I'm looking at the map we've got in the our chat.
Okay, I've got several maps here.
With the Long Dry in the middle and the New Pavis sort of to the north, and then you have Helmbold and some hills in the west, in the east.
Like the new bog and stuff like that.
I'm pulling this up right here. That's not it. Is it? What am I sharing?
It's the same
area, Jeff.
Part of Prax, but it's not the same map.
Okay, I'm sharing. This is the really one of the really prettified maps, which is those maps that I've shown you. This is what they will eventually all look like. So isn't that pretty? You all are showing up right, I would say, right to the southwest of the thing marked as Pavis and the Rubble, in between these 2 villages in the area called Pavis County. So, and if you look at the scale here, you're probably you probably come in and are maybe 8 kilometers away from New Pavis.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you all can ride on in. I will stop sharing if that's okay, and return to New Pavis. So you all have been away for how long?
A while.
Quite a while.
Quite the round trip we've had.
Yep.
High season.
It's probably been almost 8 weeks altogether. So you all return back to New Pavis, and I hope you had money left for your household to manage itself without you being there.
Yeah.
Neil, I would like you, this would be a good time to do the sort of thing that any absentee landlord has when they return back to their place, is to see how, what?
Yeah, well, it went.
So would you do what's your manage household skill?
Pretty good. Let's see. Yes, manage household. Knowledge skill. Manage household is 58.
Okay.
I rolled a 53, which is just under.
Just under. That means that your team is still there, which would be a good thing.
Yep.
And the house is still there. It hasn't been that you know, they've at least continued to more or less do sort of what they were supposed to do. What's the name of who is the person that you put in charge?
We didn't actually give them a name.
Well, now is a good time to give them a name, because they've been running your in place.
I think that we first have a look what it looks like now, and then we give them a name.
Oh, I like that. Is it a good name or a bad name?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Whoever it was, whoever has been functioning as essentially as your steward or overseer or whatever, rolled a 48 on their ability to run this. I'm going to assume that whoever you picked as your person to be running this had at least a 50% to do that. So it's still there.
Good.
It's still there. It seems to be more or less an inn called, or a bar called the White Inn.
Perfect.
They're selling bison burgers. Bison burgers and watered down barley wine.
What?
Well, that's okay.
That's what we arranged for them.
Yeah,
that's how we kept it going.
Barley wine?
Yeah.
Barley wine and barley beer.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, they have been totally doing what we told them to do. This is good.
All right. You can name the guy Baron-Thor.
Okay. Baron-Thor, I'm going to give you a few kind of minor notes on Baron-Thor. It's actually two best friends that are working it together. There's Baron-Thor, and then he's got a Praxian buddy.
And Kala, can you name the Praxian?
You know how long I spent just finding a name for my characters, and now you're asking me to just randomly come up with a name? Seriously? No.
That's Baron-Thor and seriously.
Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously.
That's so good.
Seriously, that's what
That's
everybody
so good.
calls him. It's seriously the Sable Rider.
And I think because
He'll be happy.
maybe we should call him Baron-Thor the Able, because he did quite a good job on this.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, Baron-Thor is an old Sardarite. He's an old inhabitant of Pavis County. It's been his dream all his life to run a restaurant or bar, and now he can. That's been his big dream. You know, he may have once been an adventurer, but he took an arrow to the knee, and
he lost an arm or something.
And lost an arm or something. It's RuneQuest, baby, and him and seriously, they've been running this with. I can't remember how many people do you have on your
like
payroll?
5 or 6 people.
You know, so there's these two. There's some others. They make, you know, sable steaks, all sorts of stuff. But you're finally back at your big home. I don't know how well maintained the place is otherwise, but it's still there.
It's good
There's
enough for the start.
You
I
know,
guess.
you go in, you go into that courtyard area, and there's there's a dozen Praxians drinking, and you all show up with your beasts. Silly questions I have: do you guys stable your beasts in your own building, or do you stable it in a stable?
It's probably not big enough to have the beast stabled there as well.
We do have
And call it. Okay, I'm asking the Praxian.
Oh, you
No,
want
I've actually been considering just taking the house next to them and tearing it down for a good like grazing field or something.
Have you seen that house? It's huge.
Yeah, but
It's expensive.
well, I do want my llama close, but it might be down by the barracks if it's completely impossible.
Who owns next door?
I mean, having
All the
grazing
carts.
on Rich Hill is slightly over the top, I think, but yeah, we'll see.
We own this, right? We could own next
Well,
door.
only the house, only the house.
And
we don't really own it.
And yes, let me keep in mind, in theory, everything in New Pavis belonged, is owned by the god Pavis. Now, the god Pavis has accepted Argrath as the king and steward of his city, which means what was that?
No, sorry.
Which means
Sorry.
Argrath has the right to theoretically has the right to decide who can occupy what and who can do with what. But for all practical purposes, because that's a really boring thing for a mystic warlord to get himself involved in doing it. You know, by and large, he lets the council there in New Pavis deal with most of these issues, except to the extent that it irritates him, and then he just makes a decree. Because that's the kind of what?
Stupid question. Do we like our neighbors?
You've been away for a season. You don't even remember them that well. You know that
Like them
nearby.
before? Do they greet us nicely with gifts?
You do know that one of your neighbors is one of the powerful Khans, if you remember.
Yeah,
But
he
it's a Praxian,
lives the
so-
opposite in the house opposite or something, wasn't it?
The house right opposite, I believe, is one of the more powerful Khans who has over 1,000 warriors outside of the city.
Yeah, he was the guy who tried to take the house from us.
Yeah, he wanted this house
Yeah.
originally, if you remember, Gina.
Yeah, but we scared him away. I mean, and he has no hairstyle. He's stinky. He's living with his beasts. I mean, do we care?
Well, yeah.
Did I mention that he has over 1,000 warriors at his
Stinky
disposal?
warriors.
Yes, they may be stinky, but you might care a little bit.
Yeah, but they are not all here, so
They can be here in very short time.
Yeah. Anyway,
you
he's
wanted crazy
he's
legs
the house
for
opposite,
your High
so-
Llama.
What was that?
It's not about my beast. My beast can stay in the stable. I have no connection to my horse. It's a horse.
I like my high llama, but I don't have to have it in the backyard either. I mean,
Why are we then discussing this?
it would be
Okay.
nice to have the lot next door.
We're just discussing the possibility of demolishing the house next door to make
So
to have a
we're
grazing
looking for a
place.
reason to demolish it.
Yes,
Welcome
but
to
but
We can,
Interior
how about having our own private graveyard?
not beside the house, to be honest.
Why not?
I mean, we actually don't we own or something a part of the rubble? Could
We do.
maybe-
We own a lot of the rubble area.
Yeah,
a good chunk of the rubble, yeah.
we could build a small graveyard there.
Yeah, but think about it. If you have a duel or so, having a graveyard actually on the backside of the house is very practical.
Okay, if you put it that way, that's true.
You expect to have a lot of duels here?
I don't know. I'm asking you guys.
Expect
All
many
your
people vanishing.
Stonewall lay members, Humactis, Orlantis, and
Yeah,
so on.
but they wouldn't be buried in our private graveyard.
Yeah, but this is actually business. We can let them pay for a proper place in a graveyard, which is actually tended by a Taikoratek priestess, which makes sure that everybody who's buried in this graveyard will actually feast on her table in the underworld.
Who needs that? Every self-respecting god does this anyway.
There are people who don't have the time or need somebody.
I think you guys are arguing about something that's not going to happen. It's not very big. It's a small area. We have enough challenge with space. This is not like giant areas. Maybe in Israelia, you have mansions with, you know, fields and fields and fields. Here, that isn't the case.
I want to show you. I'm sharing a map here of Rich Hill. And just to remind you, you guys have returned to your large home, which is on the corner of Thane Street and Safeway.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? It's got the little nice, it's a 2-story building. It's got the nice it's got the 4 dots, which means it's a rich home. There's a smaller building next door, but you've got a con, you've got the con right there on Safeway, which you've got another con between High Street and Meat Street. You've probably got another, we could eventually figure out who's further down on Thane Street. But there aren't a lot of places there that you can easily bust down.
Where does the constable their animals?
In the street, in his place, in his building.
Can we ask him if he'll take ours in?
I don't think this guy's our buddy.
I'm thinking maybe we can build some bridges. We are, after all, we're heroes.
If you give a con, he'll take it as a gift. I really wouldn't do that. I'd rather leave it at the stables with Argrath if that was the case. Who we have to go see anyway because we've got to go talk about how amazing we were.
That was my question for you guys: is what is your plan?
An amazing party.
Go and report to Argrath. I don't know if we could get if we could do that. Get the spirit in the thing
ritual.
First. That's up to you. That's an Ankala question.
Yeah, I would actually like to do that because it's a critical part of our shrine, and it would show a success. It would be proof of our success in a big way. So.
And did we ride into town in any sort of ostentatious way, or just sneak in?
Well, it sounded like, because nobody said anything to me, that you guys just rode in like a bunch of tired people who have been riding for a very long time.
I think we've gone back to ours. We've arrived, inconspicuously. So we go back to our inn. We rest. We put on our best clothes. We wash, and then we ride in all the style in the world.
Yep.
Through the streets to the barracks and to Argrath, and really, really make a show.
But it would be cool to carry the white sable on the way, filled with the 28 power Humacity spirit, Sable Rider.
What will that take to get that done, though? That's one question to you.
That's a question to the GM, actually, because I'm not sure of technicalities there.
Have I stopped sharing? Yes, I have.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to require of this is I'm going to require somebody of the White Bull Society to make a sacrifice of a point of power to sanctify this this idol or icon or whatnot. And once it's been sanctified like that, the spirit can inhabit it as long as the spirit is properly acknowledged. It's given daily worship. It's given regular gifts. And once a week, it gets a gift of magic points. And let me just pull up the rules on Spirit Cult, because really what you're doing is you're setting up a small spirit cult, part of the White Bull cult. So to do that means finding the rule book, which I thought I had right in front of me, but apparently I don't. Here it is. Voila. So let's just jump very quickly over to spirit cults. And they have a few relatively, spirit cults are obviously pretty easy to set up and have going. And they simply require that in order to set this up, you all will need to have a foci of power. This is your sacred idol, correct?
Yep.
It once was very close to the god or spirit. In this case, it clearly was, because it was given to you by the Aretha priestesses there at the Paps. You must sacrifice a point of power in Kala to set this up.
I have so much power. No, I don't.
Actually, no, you don't.
No, I don't.
That's the fun of being a shaman, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you need to have at least 10 followers there every week. Give 1 magic point to the spirit per week.
Mm.
So basically, it needs to have its economy is it needs at least 10 magic points going into it a week, and that is done through worship and offering.
That's not going to be a problem. After Nisk puts on a show for Argraf, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Well, what's important is guaranteed you've got 5 magic points a week from your player characters, assuming Gina participates. 6 if her hairdresser does.
What? 7 if Wahadal does.
7 if Wahadal does.
Magic point for my
I think Baron Thor and seriously the Sable Riders probably should take part too, considering we're supporting
Then there's 9. Do you got any other loyal employees?
Well, I think we have 3 more people working in the house. So
there you are.
12.
You've got about 12. And I the reason I want to go into this detail is this is how your all world works.
Yep.
And so if you get this up and going, this is you'll have a little altar. It'll have this little shrine. You'll probably decorate it with animal skulls and all sorts of swell things like that, as one does. And every week, everybody here, there's a little worship ceremony where every week you all gather and everybody gives it a magic point to keep it happy. And you try to encourage more people to give it magic points than the 12 of you or the 10 of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you get that going, then the spirit maintains happiness. But if you ignore the spirit for too long, of course, what happens?
It'll leave.
It'll leave, and you will lose your contact with the White Bull spirit.
That's
yeah.
So, are you going to do this in Kala?
Of course I am.
What's your power down to now?
10.
Wow. Now, there are some downsides with this, guys, is she is normally your most powerful spirit magician, but at a 10 power, it's really not all that great.
No, she gets to add her fetch's power, though, to her spells and stuff.
How powerful is your fetch?
It's at 10 as well. So
20, which is
20.
Now, as long as the spirit is happy here, you have a guardian spirit of your house. And your guardian spirit has a power of what did we decide?
28.
So Wow, it's a very powerful spirit that guards this. And the nice thing about that is it means you don't have to worry about ghosts. You don't have to worry about evil gods or sendings or such.
That's unfair.
You don't want ghosts in your house.
Of course.
That's what we have a cemetery for. Eventually.
I thought your goal
We
was
don't have one.
Well,
And I want to have
eventually.
my
We'll
ghosts
get to it.
I mean, I need ghosts to practice with, ghosts to talk to.
I'm sure there's plenty of those around in New Paris.
There are hundreds of thousands probably in the Big Rubble, more than we can ever count.
But we are not in the Big Rubble right now.
That's a good thing.
No, you're in your swanky 2-story house here. It's with a white bull shrine in a big cow skull.
I go into my cellar.
I'm sure there is a cellar here.
Yes, because I have my little shrine there.
And we've never talked about the cellar of your place because nobody's ever, probably none of the other 5 of you guys have ever really actually even gone in it. But of course, it's got quite a big cellar, and there's even a locked and sealed door in your cellar.
So we haven't opened?
What?
So we haven't opened?
It's just a locked and sealed door there, Gina.
I open it.
It's locked and sealed.
I'm pretty sure. I know about this store for a while, and I have played around with it.
It's locked and sealed. Hence the reason I keep calling it.
That's the first time you mentioned it. So.
Yeah.
Well,
so we've
it's the first time Gina's.
We've been in this house all this time, putting stuff in the cellar and not noticing.
Do you actually physically, with your one arm, put anything in the cellar? Or do you order
I tell people where to put the stuff.
Exactly.
So I go down into the cellar.
But we do want to see with the locked and sealed door what's behind there, because there could be loot, and we need loot.
I want to know what's behind there.
It doesn't budge.
Do you have someone who's good at opening locks?
How about
open it with a sword?
Wait, I would like to make a detect magic first.
Okay, roll against your detect magic. Your power times 5.
Not a problem. I have power 18.
There is some residual amount of magic on that, on the door itself.
Maybe I tell the others about this interesting door. There is actually a door in my cellar, which is locked and sealed. I forgot to tell you about it so far. I tried to open it, but it does not open, and there's some kind of magic behind it.
Now you tell us. Okay.
Yeah, we found it.
It's an old house. This stuff happens a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
You're playing around with your white statue all the time.
Keep in
Instead
mind.
of looking for the
Maybe we only have 11 regular worshippers at our shrine. I think.
We can always see if we can get someone to unlock it. I don't know how to.
Now, when I say there's a door, what I mean is that in so that your cellar is a stone chamber underneath your house that more or less follows the contours of the house. And in there, that's where you store food. It's where you store dry goods. It's where you store your amphora, etc. So basically,
no, not everywhere.
Well, you have an area set apart as your shrine. That's fine.
Yes.
There's an area where with black candles and whatnot.
Big table to prepare corpses.
And mood lights and playing Bajas. Where Gina lives. There's another area, and it's a big area. It's not surprising you haven't really noticed it, but there's it's a big area, and one day you notice that there is actually a door that goes down.
Yeah.
So basically, not a trap door in the sense that it's a trap door, but like a door that goes beneath this cellar.
So a very excited Gina comes up and jumps around. I found a door. I found a door. I found a door. It goes down, 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 down. Let's explore it. Yes, 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 yes.
It's a smuggler's route. This guy was a house smuggler, wasn't he? The guy owning the house?
It could easily
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Probably goes to the river or something.
Well, let's hold off until we present to Argrath and everything, and then once we're settled, let's go find out what the heck's in here.
Well, it's
Why
a
can't we do
door.
it now?
Because you just got to get this ritual. And it's more important for us to keep this place and to worry about having to find someone who's going to help us get a door and everything like that. He's the guy who gave us this place. I'm not going to ignore him. You can choose to stay here if you like, but to me, it's more important to go and do this.
It's only a 5-minute thing.
You think you can open it in 5 minutes?
I'm pretty sure one of you competent people can do it.
I'm not sure I'm very good at opening things.
Was that Gina being nice?
Well, only to
Something she
further her own
wanted.
read, obviously.
But I'm more scared that this friggin' lunar set some traps and we'll have to heal up or something like that. It's not going to be what we think.
I can heal.
Yeah, still.
Well, Nisk actually has a good point, I think. It might be riddled with traps.
Okay.
So I really want to do this, but let's go do that. Maybe there's some things we need to get to work out how we open the magic door.
You're a master of death.
No, not at all.
Garen, you're a master of death. You want to be closer to the underground, right?
I don't think this door is going anywhere.
It's going down.
Yes, but what I mean is, it will still be here when we get back from being toasted and praised.
But
Yes,
we haven't
toasted,
seen it
not
before.
roasted.
Who knows? Maybe it's a door of another dimension.
Oh, what?
I am quite excited about it.
I don't really want to open a door to hell instead of thank you very much. So you've made it even more clear that I don't want to do this right now. Thank you.
Heaven.
Any question? It's not the friggin' sky.
The heaven is
How can it be heaven?
Okay, guys, we have to get ready. We can't discuss.
Yeah, I'm going to put on my noble's clothes or whatever and get ready to go, dressed up in my armor. And, well, as you said, we take all our stuff, our loot, our mounts, and we go to visit Argrath.
Do we have loud instruments?
Gina,
Except
think
your
about
drumming, Carla.
we need you now to make sure we look our very best. We require every inch of your Ezrolian pretentiousness
You're trying
to make us look the best we possibly can. We can't do this without you. This is your moment.
Okay. If I make a Ezrolian makeover over this party, you will then afterwards go down with me down there.
After we visited our
If we
I will
manage to
go down
open
with
it.
you, but I don't want an Ezrolian makeover. But I think Garen should have one.
I mean, he's almost Israeli now anyway, after having smoked all that stuff.
Nisk!
What? I grew up on the plains, on the desert. Look
Yes, I can smell it.
All right. So we have, in some movies, you have the training scenes where it shows how everybody, becomes more competent and whatnot. Here we have the makeover scene with, Gina pulling out new attire, cutting off hair, dumping you all, forcing you all to go to the bath.
Making them walk back and forth to walk properly. It's actually, I'm advising Olga to do these things. I'm not doing this on my own. I tell Olga what to do.
Yeah, I really pay attention to him.
Getting the dirt from under your fingernails.
I am totally, if there is ever a sixth player, that player is playing Olga, and we are going to discover Olga is
Not
totally
just
actually. Yes, exactly. He's the hairdresser of death. or something else, because
that would be great. Yeah.
I'm totally tempted for us to have a sixth player just so there could be the Olgar storyline. You know, turns out he's actually played by Danny Trejo or something.
Is it your Molly, actually?
Yeah, you know, totally awesome. But until that day, we've got, you know, poor old Olgar doing his best to make you all look your best. It was Garen who was most emphatic that he had to look awesome, that this would only work with that. So you're the one who gets the height of the focus. Who else is getting the complete Israeli makeover from Olgar? That's going to include a shave, a haircut, a bath.
Dirt from the fingernails.
Dirt from the fingernails.
Bath is great because I think that was something we had planned to do a very long time ago.
Yes.
And somehow never managed to get around to it.
I can get the full Slain MacRoth spiked hair
Delightful.
look.
You could.
That's what I'm going for, definitely.
And so it's Colbrast and Garen who are getting made over. Nisk is not?
No. Don't think so. I mean, certainly don't want to do the whole, I mean, I'll bathe. I'm fine with that. But I'm not all about getting, you know, completely trimmed and all this stuff.
It's awesome. You come out of this, you know, you've been on the road for 8 weeks through the desert, through the Badlands, whatever. You know, you're
through mountains of corpses, literally.
Yeah, through corpses. And now you come out of this, Garen, your hair has been oiled. Your beard is gone, unless you want to have a little Van Dyke or something.
Oh, no.
Come on. You know,
You have standards.
You've got no beard. It's all been shaved off. Your fingernails are clean. You glisten with oil, and they even, to make you look more awesome, put coal around your eyes.
Yeah, no, there's actually something else Olga is doing, because Olga knows his stuff. He's actually putting some makeup shades so your muscles are looking bigger. So shading it properly, you know.
You know,
I'm totally in.
Yeah, and they, you know, you get to wear.
Come on.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. You know, same thing, Colbrast. You get the full look, you know, and he does marvels to find a cloak that drapes over your missing arm.
No, that's wrong, because this is actually a wound from a battle, so he has to be proud of it. So he's actually highlighting the scars of it, so they glow in the dark.
He could sort of color one color here on one side of the scar and one on the other.
Highlighting it. So with this,
these two look like peacocks in Kala.
Yeah.
Yeah, dangerous peacocks.
Dangerous peacocks. And again, give you guys, you know, he goes out of his way to pick the finest bits of stolen lunar clothing. God knows what its original owner was. It doesn't matter. You two look fabulous. And as long as you're geared up like this, you get a temporary bonus of +1 to your charisma.
Great.
All right. You guys feel better?
Yeah.
You guys?
Oh, we feel. Yeah.
Me too.
I have to say, I've not been bathing. I've been in the sweat tent, and I've been rubbing myself down with with some herbs and sand and stuff, which is how I clean myself.
So
it's
you're
not
clean.
like I'm clean now. I'm really clean. Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah, sweaty clean.
Gina, you're doing the whole thing as well?
Of course.
Okay, what were you shaving there in Kala?
Oh, just the hair to just keep the
shaving the front of your head?
Yeah. It's grown out too much.
You feel so much better.
Yeah.
And then there's the 3 Israeli and peacocks. And how about yourself, Nisk? How are you trying to present yourself?
Nisk actually has very nice noble's clothes, and he will actually pull those out, and he didn't take it on the, and put on a new set and wear that. So he's actually gonna look.
I have a very silly question for you because you've been traveling for many years. Are your nobles' clothes Sardarite? Are they Praxian? Are they Teshnite? Are they East Islander? Are they Von Ritian? Or are they Seshnellen? Or are they Israelian? You can take your pick. You've plundered.
I think of where his name. I don't think they're that local. I think they're a little different than that.
They'd be pretty patched if they were local.
Yeah, so I didn't get them recently. So it's a place where Argrath had a lot of big success. So
That's why I picked any one of those.
All right, let's do Teshnos then.
All right, so your noble clothes, you think these guys were peacocks. He's wearing golden silk pantaloons. Golden silk pantaloons.
I thought he had
So I
sold
stand
those
there in a corner.
long ago.
And with
you're riding a bison. Were you riding a
and
bison?
a caftan with elephant symbols on it.
Brother Nisk, when you refused Gina's ministrations, I had expected you to wear the hard-wearing clothes of the Praxian, not this.
This is something that I got when I
assemblage.
with Argrath. It was a gift from him.
And it's got slippers with curly toes.
And his toes are dirty.
Now
I
watch.
was just going to say, it highlights his sort of non-Israelian scruffiness that he has going about him.
Hey, he's the scruffy Bollywood actor.
Okay.
There's always the one in any of the big Bollywood films. There's always the manly scruffy guy.
No, he's there to make you guys look better. Even better.
He has
Nice
great
colours,
clothes,
Joe.
with gold. And...
Well, so you all had dressed up as peacocks, except for Inkala, to go to the former lunar headquarters, now the palace of King Argrath. And, as the usual drill, make a somebody's got to succeed on a reputations, but you get a bonus. You get a plus. Well, some of you guys get a bonus. Those of you guys who have served Argrath as wolf pirates get a plus 25 bonus on your reputation.
Oh, cool.
The rest of you just roll regular reputation.
02.
Wow. 04, Gina.
We're there. Oh wait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Just normal success.
Yeah, just a normal success for me.
Inkala?
No one knows me. I've done nothing wrong ever. No one knows me.
And you certainly didn't charge
No.
a chaos god.
Well, the thing is exactly. This is whether the gate guards, the guardians there know who you are to let you in. This is one of the important things about the reputation skill is the reputation is probably the biggest scale for determining whether you are winning the game in RuneQuest. It's like glory in Pendragon. And as that goes up, people know who you are.
Can I be called the unknown? Because it feels so unfair. I'm not a troublemaker. No one's going to ever believe it.
They'll believe it. Don't worry.
You're just your problem is you're not dressed like a peacock.
I am half naked.
Yeah, but these are Praxian guards.
Yeah, I know.
But they're bison riders.
Yeah.
They're bison riders in Kala.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Exactly. No wonder they're being so disrespectful.
They're spiting me actually on purpose.
Inside the palace, is, or the headquarters. It's either a big headquarters or a very small palace, because it's actually not that the building itself is not that much smaller than or bigger than your villa. It's just that it's not shared with anything else. It's the headquarters, and then it's got a building twice the size, which is the barracks, and then it's got a whole nother building that is used for storage and cooking and all that sort of stuff. So there is you're invited in to Argrass Palace, and there are the usual bunch of Argrass cons and folk around that need to be bypassed unless you guys chose this on a feast day. So here's your question: is this did you try to go here on a feast day? When it's actually feast day is the easiest to be able to get an audience, but it's in a feast environment.
No, I don't do a environment then.
Private audience, the issue there is that you're going to have to go through his household. You won't be able to directly. You'll actually have to make some skill rolls to be able to get an audience, because Argrath isn't sitting there. There's always people there that try to keep people from Argrath.
Okay.
We have brought the white sable, by the way.
And we have gifts of weapons.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's figure out who is trying to function as Argrath's major domo at the right now. And that's the other thing is and again, this may seem to be an irritating thing or incompetence in government or administration, but this is just simply how things would work here. Is that Argrath is, even if Argrath isn't doing anything, he's probably sitting around trying to explore the spirit world or do some sort of mystical contemplations or whatnot, which he probably shouldn't be disturbed at. So to get to him, you've got to go through one of his war counselors.
Okay.
Now, that's probably not that hard for you all. War counselors come and go regularly at this. So the major war councils around Argrath, and I'm just going to let you pick which one you're going to try to go through. There is your neighbor, Narmid Werlishvane. Okay, he's the Bison Khan. Lives on Rich Hill in your neighborhood.
Okay.
He's a full-fledged Khan with hundreds of warriors. He can, if with his assent, you can get a meeting with Argrath at any time.
Yep.
Your other neighbor, your Khan in Kala, Yazurkio Blue Llama, the head of the Blue Llamas, same deal. He's got 1,200 warriors, or actually, I think it's 2,000 warriors outside of the city. There is a Sable Rider, a Sable Khan, Ronir the Hugh, who is another major Khan. There are members of Argrath's own household that you likely know, including his trickster, Iluzu. And she is the only one of the Khans who doesn't surround herself with, only major war counselor who doesn't surround herself with a retinue of warriors. She's known to just wander around New Pavis on her own. There is a foreigner who who joined him in his campaign around the world, Sir Narib, who is a dark-skinned adventurer from far-off Pithdaros. There is his charioteer, Oromar, and there is his resident scribe, Toasty Runefriend. I want to know, you got to go through one of these guys to be able to get through to him. You've been away for a season. You don't have the pull to do it. Who are you going to try to go through?
It's a bummer Rurik isn't there, because that would be the easiest for me, I think. I think my preference would be the charioteer.
You might be able to get Rurik could get through here, and Rurik is in the Sun City, in the Light Town.
I would definitely see if I could get Rurik, given that, you know, the fact that I've had two during our time on the Rurik trained me a few different times. He trained me to help fight darkness and to help fight chaos. So I actually have a pretty good relationship with him, ironically.
Does that make sense to the rest of you guys?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, Rurik is a light son of Yamalio. So he is a rune lord of the Yamalio cult, of light, of the Sky Dome, Gina.
No.
He's the least gothy person in the entire city.
I had my own 04 role.
Yeah, you can get into here. They know who you are. Do you have a better way? You can even sit here and wait.
The question is, how are we going to get an audience is the issue. That's the thing we have to do next. And I don't know the sage very much. I don't know the charioteer that well at all. I don't know Sir Nero. I met him, but he wouldn't know us. So I want to go for someone who actually knows who we are, other than our neighbors. I don't think would be the people to recommend at the moment. Because you decided to change Bison High Lama Khans.
The High Lama Khan isn't a fan of mine at the moment. So yeah, that's not a good.
That's probably not then. And the Bison guy isn't either.
No, we're sitting in his house, according to him, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Both of them, actually.
Well, the sable, how about the sable Khan? I mean, we have a little sable thingy with us.
And Ronir the Hugh is extremely loyal to Argrath. You know that he killed the previous Sable Khan. Killed him personally to gain, to force the Sables into an alliance with the White Bull.
That could actually be quite cool, because we do have the spirit of a...
Yep, I'm fine with that. We could try that too if you want. Your choice.
It's your call, guys. Claudia, do you have a preference? You don't like Rurik?
No.
You never met Rurik. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's too bright.
He's blonde and happy.
I think I would more go with Illuso.
Then there's finally the trickster priestess, Argrath's clown.
I don't trust that. I think that just seems.
There's no problem with that.
Tricksters are tricksters.
Certainly not the kind of person I would try to get an audience.
The type of audience you want.
True. Yeah.
So we can try. Rowan. We can try that. We can try the Sable Rider first, if we want, and if not, go get Rurik. Okay. I assume we can try a few people.
All right. Gina, does that work with you?
That's better than Rurik.
Okay.
Rurik is plan B. Is that?
Well, Ronir the Hugh does not reside within the city. He actually normally resides. You can find him in the headquarters today in the palace, but he normally actually resides in the rubble, where he seems very determined to reclaim some of the treasures that the Praxians claimed exist in the rubble and claim them for Argrath. He's very involved in there. How do you plan to win him over?
I think we is he a Stormcon or Waha?
He's Waha.
We show him the statue.
We tell him show him the statue. We show him about the white bull. We tell him that what we've done there, and say that we have word from Sartor, and we have word from the Eternal Battle, and we fought an avatar of chaos.
We tell them our glorious story.
And that the Sable Rider spirit decided us so worthy that he agreed to come join us and to be the spirit of the temple.
The Sable Rider spirit tells our story.
If he knows spirit speech, which he probably does.
Should. Or has somebody who knows it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got a shaman around him.
Okay, so I would like you're the questions I have, do you give him a gift? Do you you want to have the spirit tell your story? Give me a little bit more details.
I would recommend that I want to get Colbrast's opinion on this too. I recommend that we give him an encumbrance of moon rock, because sables are moon guys. And that's a gift you wouldn't normally get, and because sables are that moon is their one, and some spears. Are you okay with that, Colbrast?
Yeah, sure.
Colbrast is not happy.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, Ronir the Hue. Ronir the Hue is a middle-aged man, very, very straight-backed. He wears trousers, even though he's the Khan of the entire Sable Nation. He wears trousers of coarse fabric, a plain tunic, and no cape. Dresses very simply. His once jet black hair has now faded to a dull gray. And he's clearly been scarred in battle multiple times. And he gives the impression that he is a guy, without seeing him do anything, he certainly gives the impression that he's a guy who sizes you up immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And would have no compunction killing you if that was what was needed.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
And when he talks to you all, he looks directly in your eyes each time, and his eyes just can he tries to just hold you your stare with his eyes. Doesn't even blink very often. And he will accept the gift. How much moonstones do you give him? Remember, he is the head of the Sable Nation.
Okay, so we have 17, right?
Yeah, 17. How much do you want to give him?
A quarter? A quarter?
I'm looking at Colbrast.
Yeah, I would say 4 or 5.
A little bit more that you know about this guy.
Yep.
He, at the second Battle of Moonbroth, remember that battle you fought in last year? He personally killed the previous Sable Khan and chased down those sables most loyal to the Lunar Empire, and either killed them personally on the battlefield or ordered their deaths after the battle.
I love this guy. Let's give him lots.
All right.
Okay, we could give him half of the moon rock, which is 8.
I would definitely, right, but we're going to be we want to give over half, I would say, to Argrath.
Yeah, so that's 8.
Well, I'm saying let's give him a quarter.
Yeah.
We can keep a couple for ourselves, and then we can give, 9 to Argrath.
That's 4 for 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Kid's toy going off here. I'm sorry. That's
It's not coming through on mine, so you're fine.
okay. Well, it's certainly coming through here.
Oh dear. Is this the only
I'm
gift
sorry.
that you give him? This and some weapons?
This weapons that we got from the other one, I'm not going to give him the true stone. We're
No.
not actually.
The true stone is more of an Argrath thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can
We could
what's
give
his
him
take on
give him a
Hazia?
beast,
Give him some Hazia.
but I don't have a sable to give him.
Didn't we get a sable?
No, we got 2 high llamas, bison, and a zebra.
Okay.
Is there an issue with giving a gift of an animal that's a different type, Jeff?
No.
Do you want to give him a high llama or a bison?
I'm up for that.
Okay, we'll give him the bison.
Give him bison. Smells worst.
Ronier accepts your gifts, but he looks looks at the moon rock and the weapons, and he says, "This is an interesting gift for Orlanthi to give me. Where did this come from?"
It came from the battle of Moonbroth, where we fought and defeated an avatar of the Mad God.
Hender's Ruin, that was.
Ender's Ruin.
Ender's Ruin.
He asks. He says. He looks at Garen and he says, "Humakti, do you concur with their tale?"
There is naught but truth in the words they speak.
He wants to hear more of what you did. More about this.
Well, I will tell him what we did. I will tell him the work that we did to deal with the ghost, that as much as we could, that Gina did to put as many Praxians to rest as possible. Mentioned how there was chaos spirits that wandered around there, and in one case, as we got too close to one of the areas where Gina was trying to do that, we came by this great whirlwind, and in that whirlwind, there was outspewed these skeletons and this eternal battle of which we saw it was, which our Storm Bull was able to detect and charged in, and it seemed that an avatar of the Mad God Ragnar came out. And we fought it, and we defeated it.
And we put it back and bound it to his grave.
And we bound it back to its grave. At that point, there we rescued a Humakti Sable warrior who's decided to come with us and join us as part of the White Bull Society and show him
Was that a Humakti or was that a Stormbull?
He was a Humakti.
He was a Humakti? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, spirit.
That is what we did. Then we went to the block, and there we told our story. And I proved it by trial by combat that the Stormbulls believed us as well. They're asking the spirits. The spirit told us that too.
He agrees that the White Bull should hear this. He thanks you for bringing this to him. He is very troubled, or he's both impressed and troubled by this. He asks you, do you believe that this avatar of chaos is there because of the lunar magic? Or is it just there as part of the, because the eternal battle wanders through the plains of Prax?
I would think, let's go ahead.
No, I would think there is a connection because the avatar of Ragnar said that the devils was being put back together again. So something's happening.
And it actually, the whirlwind stayed on the battlefield until we actually defeated him and bound him back to his grave.
Yeah.
Ronier agrees that this is something that must be brought to the White Bull. He says, you have my thanks.
Thank you, Ronier.
And he will arrange an audience quickly with Argrath on this. But see, now you've met yet another con. Look how many cons you guys have met.
Yeah, they're all a bit different.
Doesn't immediately hate us that it's the Sable Rider.
Yeah. So this is our one friendly con.
He's,
And it's just because he doesn't want to live in a house.
Yeah.
The Saber Riders and Morocants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
We have
Morocans love you.
Morocants friends. Yeah.
yeah, they were great.
Well, that's another point to bring up to Argrath.
All right, I wanted to take a short break for me to use to refill my cup and have a nice logical break here, and then we'll jump right back in. Okay, guys?
Mhm.
Yeah, sounds good.
And welcome back, everybody. Okay, so it is time for your audience with King Argrath, the White Bull, the foreordained one. And he's got bunches of other titles. I'm sure as well. The dragon, friend. They's probably got some weird Western titles and whatnot. But it's with Ronier's backing, you are able to get an audience with him and a few of his household members. So what I want to know is, what's your presentation? Here's basically how it's got to be arranged, because these audiences, they follow a format, or a formal format, even if it's someone like Argrath who doesn't have a tremendous amount of formality. And what they will consist of is, what are the gifts you're giving him? What do you want to tell him? And basically, I want to have it boiled down to, what is the most important thing that you want to convey to him? What is the overall theme that you want to present to him? So one is factual and one is kind of an attitude issue. And that's going to require an orate skill.
Okay.
So, and I think that's basically enough on this. Obviously, screwing up an orate in front of Argrath might not be a good thing. Giving a crappy gift to the White Bull might not be a great thing.
All right.
And if you recall, you've had a mixed record of impressing the White Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the feeling
We
that
thought we were extremely funny about it, remember?
yeah, Nisk is someone who, honestly, Argrath finds very humorous. He's actually quite good at certain combat things. He kind of talks well, but he's doesn't really think everything through all the way. It's pretty clear and stuff like that. The theme, I think, is the Lunars causing the chaos and encroachment. I think that ties in to what we have done. The fact that we have visited we visited the battlefield. We tried to get many souls to rest. We fought the Avatar of Chaos came out. We fought that. We drove that off. We brought back a spirit for the White Bull in addition, which is another thing that we said that we would do. And in the warning that they gave. So I think it's that's my view on the theme. I don't know who else has another idea of what they want to talk about theme-wise.
We can add that we befriended Morocant might be sending an envoy here. And that the Storm Bulls at the block agreed to join us for the final battle.
Right, and the Morocant agreed to send an emissary to Argrath.
Yeah.
So the overall theme is, we might be crappy bodyguards, but we're quite useful as emissaries.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Is everybody agreed on that?
Okay, gifts.
Can we add in also good emissaries, mighty warriors?
Yeah.
I think we need to emphasize that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes us such good emissaries.
A very fair point.
Chaos fighters. In terms of gifts, I think are we willing to go all in and give him the True Stone?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we show him some of the moon rock that we got. I think that Argrath's got crazy things, so he may want to do with that. But we talked about the 9 units. I think we give him the extra animals we got. Are people okay with that? And then we give him the True Stone, and I think we give him probably half our weapons. Typically, you give half to your boss. So
Yeah.
that seems
I mean,
fair.
what have we got left weapon-wise?
I was just going to say, how many do you actually have left?
We have 14 helmets, 6 swords, 5 spears, 10 axes, and one bronze cuirass. You want to keep the bronze cuirass.
Okay. So yeah, at least half, I would think.
The True Stone's gonna trump everything anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's like nothing.
So that's
So,
a pretty
Just
big
give him all
strategy.
the stuff, and at the end, so, oh yes, and there was one thing.
There's this
Yeah.
little piece of
This little
stone right
piece of
here.
stone, yeah.
Make that a big reveal. Big
Yeah.
flourish of the cloak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I am going to use, before we do this, Jeff, I'm going to use a point of rune magic and use charisma again to increase
Okay.
and
If we up our charisma too, or is that?
try and increase my ability as well, because I think this is something I'm doing to warn, because this is a warning to him as, you know, the fighter, fighter of chaos, which is kind of part of what we're looking at through here.
So what's your augment you're using?
Loyalty argument. Seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing about the way that this is being presented, and I'm totally fine with this, but it's very clear Nisk is being presented to this as your leader of the group. So he's taking on the position here, and there's nothing wrong with this, and I'm not trying to block you guys from doing this, but that would be how it's perceived, is that he is the household leader.
I'm more Nisk's the only one with any noble heritage amongst us, isn't he? So
yeah.
And we're in a society highly stratified. That's going to be the natural way things fall, I think.
Again, there's nothing.
As long as the cellar is my area, he can do whatever he wants. I do not care.
I think what it really means that just all the sort of, stuff outside of the house with other people, it takes a lot of time, is Nisk's thing.
I'm your mouthpiece, I guess.
Yeah.
And that is typically the function of a chief in your culture, is that's one of their job, is to deal with outsiders.
Yeah, like I'm a shaman. I'm not a leader at all. I can go in and wave around, but I have no problem with Nisk being perceived as our leader at all.
Okay. I just want to point that because this is obviously you're giving a big gift to an important person who's being surrounded by your household. There will be repercussions of that, especially if he rolls a 0-0 on his orate.
Okay.
All right. What's your skill?
150.
Effectively 150. Now, before you roll this, it should be pointed out that you actually could critical on a 0-8.
Okay.
But you still fail on a 96 to 0-0.
Still fail on 96 to 0-0. There's no hero points I can spend to no.
RuneQuest is brutal that way, guys.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
26.
26, which is a special success.
It's special.
Okay.
That is a special success. Argrath is very impressed with the gifts. He is you make both of your points and he listens to them very carefully. He listens to your discussion, your points about the Moracanth and the Storm Bulls, and he interrogates you somewhat on the specific words said at the Eternal Battle. Wants to know specifically what things Inkala saw on the battlefield. What did the spirits look like? When you tell me.
The spirits? There were the big eyes, 3 meters tall eyes with legs. There were a lot of loons, ghosts.
The eyes, were they crimson? Were they red?
Do I remember that or not? Well,
of course. Does that sound right?
Probably. I don't recall you actually saying the color of them, but everything
I remember
there was
something
crimson,
was
so
crimson there.
Lots of things there was crimson, so probably.
You said there were definitely loons wandering the battle.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the color.
So, and these lunar spirits, they you're certain that they were loons, and they were and he calls them oculus spirits, eye spirits.
Yes.
You're certain that that's what they were.
Yes.
And they were still there on the battle. There was. Did you see any of the members of the Imperial the College of Magic there?
No, we didn't see any of them. I didn't see any live like spirits of anyone looking alive at all.
And the avatar, what you're calling the avatar of chaos, he wants. You're going to need to make a cult lore here in Kala, because he starts asking for all sorts of details about it.
Okay. I'm going to try.
Whether you, and what he's trying to do is figure out whether you're properly identifying things. So I want you to make a spirit lore skill and a Storm Bull cult skill.
He did say, and I quote specifically, "My son is being put together again."
Yes, he did say that.
And what we did see was weird crimson lights on the battlefield.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 003 on the spirit lore. That's a special.
A special success. Okay. Okay. This is good. Argrath is impressed with this. And he asks a series of follow-up. He seems to know a lot about spirits.
Yeah. And then my Storm Bull. Oh, that's barely a success, but it is a success.
And what was it again, Colbras, that it said? This avatar of Ragnaglar?
My son is being put together again.
Did you see any activity underneath when you were at the block? Any earth shaking? Any unusual phenomena?
None that we noted.
No.
We took part in a ritual, a holy day ritual with the Stormbolt.
And we did actually, we took part in the riding around and looking out for things, but there was nothing.
He asks to see your map.
Oh, the map of the place?
Right. He asks to see the map that he gave you.
Okay. We can show him that. That's in the sheet, right? You drew it?
Yes. He looks at it. Do you plan to claim your territories?
We do.
Yes.
We had planned to go in there to get the spirit, get something for the shrine that we've set up for the White Bull Society. But because we got the spirit at the Eternal Battle, we don't need to do that anymore. But that is our next thing that we're going to do.
He asks. He says, pacify it and secure it and do with it what you can. And if you are, he will likely have some requests for you based on what you've told him.
Okay.
Oh.
He will give counter gifts, which I will work out afterwards. This is, I always find it easier to think about good gifts afterwards, though I'm sure, given that you gave him, you were very successful on there, they will be very generous gifts. Corresponding to what you gave and the utility of the information that you gave him, which he seems even more is more interesting to him. He does have a follow-up question, which was, did in your description of your travels, you made it to Swinston.
Mm-hmm.
Is that as far into Sartar as you came?
It is. Yes, we took part in the Holy Day of Orlanth there, and one of Ronalda, and we tried to gather some information about some of the kings and the princes. We have said that Kalar Starbrow has been proclaimed Prince of Sartar after defeating the Lunars at the, I can't remember what the battle name was.
A Dangerford.
A danger.
Um,
And there was something else that Garen was not very happy about.
No, because those who follow Kalia Starbrow in Swenston believe the dragon rise was caused by her, and not, as it truly was, by your august self.
Did she seem to have the support of the cults, of the mob, or of and did she have the support of the Poljoni?
The Poljoni had left their the Oases to go ahead to try and claim their lands back in the Vale, the Vale. I don't remember what the name of it now. The Dandielos.
The Dandielos
Valley. So I would say to that extent, yes. I don't think we didn't get much of a mention from the temple about it. It didn't seem to be a big deal.
There was no real indication either way that we saw.
No, but some of the locals in Joe's did feel, that they were definitely supporting Kalir going forward. But she is also, she was Queen of the Keldon, so that's not a big surprise.
He's impressed, and especially you got a special on this, so and proving that you were good emissaries is one of the things that you were trying to do, and you pulled it off. He even comments that that you impress him with his skill as an emissary. As well as a warrior, and he needs to. He will make use of that in the future. He says, "You make a better emissary and better warriors than you do a tent guard."
Yeah, we'll never hear the end of that one.
But he didn't. Doesn't mean that he's making sure. By the way, he's making.
I will say, well, Argrath, I was always prone to boredom. I have a wandering spirit.
But he finds all of this. This is good information that has him interested. He makes an official proclamation elevating Nisk to the status of Thane.
Okay.
Now, what that means is that it gives Nisk now holds a status here as what a Thane, the literal meaning of the word Thane is just martial companion. So basically it's an elevated, it is a elevated way of saying he is an official member of Argrath's posse. Because there is a high level of informality to this, but it does also offer a lot. It does offer a bunch of legal statuses and whatnot, and it does mean that if you argue with other ones of his companions, at least you're coming from the position as one of his thanes. With that, he will provide you with gifts that hopefully will make it easier for you to claim your domains, and asks if you wish to hire any followers, or you plan to do this all on your own.
I'll say that it is a big area and a big responsibility to take such thing. And although I feel my companions are of great strength and great bravery and great magical prowess, pointing at the priestesses and the shamans specifically, I think that definitely would be looking at some other people as well. We're also looking definitely for those who follow the White Bull to come to our shrine to enjoy some of the beer and to and showing the Kala has it, and to support the great spirit that has come with us.
He appreciates all that. He says that there are there are many warriors. There are many men and women of war in this city right now with no war to fight. And perhaps if you give them one to fight in the rubble, they will have something to do. But that's the extent to which...
We will ponder his wise words.
Exactly.
After that, make sure that you all have gifts, that you're provided with drinks. There are, and also it is expected that from time to time you should attend his feasts while you're in the city, which is basically a normal thing for warriors that want his attention to be doing. But you came out of that, you should be coming out of that the feeling that Argrath was very impressed with you all, gave you very appropriate gifts on this. And the last thing bit he had is, no, won't come out of that. Won't come out of this. He will let you return to your home, laden with gifts, new titles, and he will ponder your words.
And we'll get to rest up, and then we have a door to open.
Yes. So what now I would like you guys now have the opportunity. You have probably a lot of skill rolls to make. You have a lot of, I believe everybody gets a power check, don't you?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say you don't get a power check, you do get a power check. Everybody gets a power check in this one. Anyone who, the last bit is, I will give even Colbrast and Garen and Inkala a check on their Argrath loyalty, even though they didn't use it. Actually, you have used it in the last month, haven't you, Garen?
Oh, every available opportunity.
So,
yep.
Because he did gift you well as well.
Yeah.
I don't even have loyalty Argrath, so I guess I have it now then.
Well, are you a member of the White? Do you have loyalty to the White Bull?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He is the White Bull.
Yeah.
I have no loyalty Argrath.
You can take it or not take
amazing.
it.
I believe that Ballantyre is awesome.
So what was that?
I just read that I believe Ballantyre is awesome.
Ballantyre is definitely awesome. Ballantyre is totally awesome, but he's dead. So with that, what I would love you guys to do, why don't we all make our skill checks at the beginning of the next section. You guys can tell any awesome skill checks or improvements that are made. We're going to get a little bit of downtime for this. This is also a good time if people want to learn new spells. You will have time to learn some new spells from your cult if you want to pay for it, or you can go to and call a troublemaker, and she will eventually figure out her system for who gets to be trained in magic when.
Yeah.
And I would say that we probably don't get our occupation rolls because we traveled for so much, right?
Correct. And you guys got, I believe, a lot of skill checks.
Yes. Too bad I couldn't count.
We do or we don't do our occupation rolls.
Well, no, you get 4. Typically, you get 4 a season if you're not traveling.
But you've been traveling the whole season.
We're traveling, but we should have gotten enough total other skill checks, hopefully.
I mean, you even got to prepare a corpse, Claudia.
Yeah, I think you're doing the same thing, so yours is probably not that different.
Yeah, I'm doing my prepare corpse and worship Tycho. I have actually a lot of skill rolls.
You have a lot of skill rolls. I'm not going to require you guys. We do these all on camera because no one can see what you're doing. But when we join in next session, I want everybody to tell me what good skill checks they got. I will come up with the gifts that Argrath gave you, and I think we will the next session with you guys getting ready to figure out your trek into the rubble.
I would also ask.
No.
The door.
My door.
The door.
The door
Should we
is-
handle the door tonight?
Yes.
That
You
is a
promised
last
me.
solving thing.
I'm willing to do that tonight. That's fine. You
Only
took
up for
the time
smashing
for us,
door.
so I'll take the time for you.
So what is
how
your
about
plan?
the
The door is stone.
Wow.
It's a stone door laid down on the a stone slab that's got it's clearly a door. There you can see that it's potential where it should hinge up. It's got a big metal brass ring that you should be able to lift it up, but it seems to be bolted from the other side.
Yeah, or it's very, very heavy and we need only the strength, and we have now some very strong men here.
Yeah.
You guys want to see if you can pull up
we can try.
Okay, what's your strength together? I'm going to let two guys at the same time.
Wait, okay. I am not the strongest at all. However, I can make both Garen and Colbras stronger.
I've got
Okay.
strength 15.
So you have you
17.
both have +8 to your strength.
+8. Okay.
Strong is in call
So it's 25.
13 now.
Oh, okay. Gina, I know you're not strong.
So I am 23.
And what is yours, Colbrast?
25.
So that is a 48. I would like one of the two of you to roll on that.
But there was magic on it, right? Do we have like dismiss magic or something for that door first?
Oh, that's a possibility.
Who could do that?
We'll just rip the magic
Isn't that just
apart. No problem.
Isn't that a common rune spell?
It is a
Dismiss
common
magic?
rune spell.
Yeah.
I just cast the rune spell, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
do another one.
And we can actually feast and worship to get that rune point back before we go to Pavis. I can do that.
Okay.
So
How many
you do
points?
that, and I actually augment them with a good song.
Hmm?
A lifting song.
the door lifting song?
How many points you can use
Oh,
this magic?
Points you going to put into this, Incola?
Is it all the points used will be rune points?
Yes.
Or yeah. Okay, I'll use 2. That's a big rune spell. So
4 points of spirit magic. Okay.
yeah, let's go.
My augment worked.
Okay, your augment. So
What
you
do
have
I
a
roll for for rune spells now?
You roll against either your storm rune, your death rune, which is your better.
My death rune. Yep, that's a success. I have a
Okay.
75, so.
So you have a 68% chance, kids.
Goldbrast, I think you should roll because my
Right.
luck is absolutely.
Says the what? Yes.
Cool,
Why not?
cool.
The
No
one
pressure.
I'll
You know what
stand back
happens to us
with
if
my-
we
I'll have
can't
strength
over that
on as
stupid
well,
door?
But I'll have my weapon ready. in case
Okay, there you go.
Something comes.
That's a 39, so it's a success.
All right, you all managed to pull. You can hear something break and pull this open. And there is a very finely made stone tunnel leading down. Very finely made. Not like weirdly like round or something. It has been very nicely crafted.
So it does look like the Hazia smuggling tunnel.
Yep.
You guys got to go down in this?
Of course.
Of course.
Sure.
I would imagine it goes to the river. Be the obvious.
Well, you know, none of you guys, I think, are particularly good at making your way around underground. I don't think you ever have you?
Well, I mean, Nisk and myself are pirates, so we know our way around on the deck.
I spent my whole life in a necropolis. I'm sorry. I mean, I think I do.
There is a, it goes down and it leads into a tunnel that is You can see there's a little bit of light ahead, but the tunnel itself is quite dark because, of course, nobody bothered to bring.
Yeah, why
light.
would we?
Exactly.
We can get a torch. That's easy enough before we go
We're
down.
not dungeoneers. I mean,
No, that's what a silly thing. I mean, next thing you know, you're going to have a 10-foot stick and a
20
collapsible 10-foot
rope.
pole. Thank you very much.
what
I
was
get a
that?
With a hook on
candle.
the end.
I get one of my black candles out.
Yeah, yeah.
A little
Perfect.
candle. Anybody get, one of the little, you know what a lantern actually looked like in the oil lantern in the ancient world? They're like little ceramic things that have oil here and they burn.
And the
Drop
first
lantern table.
Yes.
Yes.
drop lantern table.
Yes. It's very bad when you drop these because you splatter oil all over the place and
That'd be a
it
bad thing.
sucks. Yeah. But this is something that you can go in, and if anybody you had it, does any of your characters have even the slightest ability at craft stonemasonry?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't have the craft stone.
No.
Maybe gravestones?
I mean, that's kind
Nice try.
of inspired.
You head down down a chamber until you get to a large. There is a follow the tunnel until you get to a large room underneath the earth. In here, there are beds. And little living areas have been set up here. Fairly nice, like it's a large, well-maintained common room. And there's several people in here, and they seem shocked and a little bit shocked you all were here.
What are you doing in our cellar?
And they say, I don't know who you are, and says something to you in a language you don't know. What do you do? There's
What do they look like?
There's two men and a woman. They are they're wearing tunics. This room here has a number of it actually has light sources that are oil lanterns. So
These lunar tunics?
no, they're pavasite. I mean, it's pavasite tunics. They look like pavasites.
So what is their style? Is this a noble style? Is this a commoner style? Whatever. I should know that.
Make a pavis lore.
Styles. I'm from Australia.
Barbarian style.
I rolled an 87 on what did I roll?
Yeah, it's pavasites, barbarians. But they say something, and one says, "How did you get here? You shouldn't be here."
Why not? This is our land. This is our villa. You're below our villa.
How did you get here?
Oh, one of them goes, you went in through one of the houses above from Rich Hill?
Of course.
How
did you get through the bar?
We are great warriors. How do you think we got through the bar? What are you doing here?
This is the residence of Ginkizi in the city of Lord Ginkizi.
Do I know who Lord Ginkizi is?
You make a Pavislor.
How does he write himself?
Genkizzy.
Inkizzy, okay.
When was the last time you were on the surface?
We are here. We are. You are within the. This belongs to Flintnail,
I don't make it.
which
Is this
this belongs to
Flintnail is,
Flintnail. He
All
says
of
to
this
you.
belongs to Argrath.
is this Black
The White
Fang?
Bull, the foreordained.
I asked Ogre.
No.
Ogre.
So I know who Flintnail is, though, right?
You know who Flintnail is? Flintnail is the that's the Mason cult.
You want the people who can open the door. These are the guys.
Right?
You want someone who can open the door. These are the guys. I'll say
you should not be here. You are not you are not in the cult. We believe that you came here inadvertently, but you should not be here.
Why not?
We came down here because we thought that this was the escape route of the lunar who lived above.
Says this is. I have no idea. I have no idea whether he had the former inhabitant of your home had some agreement with Lord Kinkizzy. But you should not be here.
A more practical question: are there other houses with holes in the cellar like this?
They're saying
it's pretty clear.
You should not be here. Leave before the dwarves come.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Dwarves?
Can we set up an appointment later with Lord Kinkizzy?
If you do not come this way, but go through the front door.
Which is where? The Flintnail
Dwarf Street. I'm going to show you. This is something. I'm going to share screen for a moment.
Even in Kala is scared of dwarfs.
Everybody should be scared of dwarves.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Hey, do you see this that says Dwarf Street and High Street?
Yeah.
Right? On this, you see the little ridge. So High Street is above Dwarf Street. On that cliff between High Street and Dwarf Street is what's called the front door. And that leads into what is called Dwarf Town.
We found the secret way into Dwarf Town.
You wandered into Dwarf Town.
And we slowly back away.
Yeah, I think we back
They're not dwarves.
Yeah, so
What is going on? You're not dwarves.
We are they say they are initiates of Flintnail.
We will set up a time to meet. It seems appropriate. We did not come to disrupt Flintnail and the dwarves. We thought
Is
this
there
was
any
the
way
escape.
going down?
That's the dwarf area.
Yes.
So you should go back now the way you came.
Yeah.
Very well. But only because we are choosing.
The dwarves can be difficult.
Difficult. Okay. Never heard of them, but.
So we lock the door from the top.
Yeah.
And you can hear very soon after, you can hear sounds of clink, 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 chink, 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 chink of things being hammered on your door. Do you know what a Gloranthan dwarf is, Colbert?
Yes, but first, I want to put something on top of the door.
Okay. Inkala, would you like to tell Colbrast why dwarves frighten you?
Well, they're kind of, they believe in the world machine, and they're kind of machines in a way. Well, I think they are. They're completely not normal in any kind of way. They create different kind of mostali based on purpose. And they have all these nasty curses. If you slight them, suddenly your entire field is full of rocks and you can't plant anything. And they have, I don't remember what some of those nasty big monsters they have set on you as curses. And if they get really pissed off because you've gotten a piece of dwarven creation, they'll send iron dwarfs on you. And that's one of the worst armies you could ever.
Dwarves don't die, I don't think. They think they can live forever.
They're
But
machines. They're living machines.
They did talk. They are related somehow to the. I don't know the details a lot, but they're related to the Pavis cult, and there's some relationship there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, Colbrast, it should be noticed that in Kala and Nisk, and I think Garen as well, aren't you afraid of dwarves?
Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't.
But
they aren't natural.
But we have something to barter with, because the lands we were given by Argrath include the old Flint Nail Temple, which they don't use anymore, but they may want to.
And that is
what about the salt mines as well? Are they connected in any way to Dwarf Town?
We don't.
You know, that's a great thing for us to talk about starting next session. This is a great point to stop. So thanks everybody for watching in. I'd like to thank all of my players and our viewing audience, and I'm going to pass it over for Neil for the final closing.
Okay, thank you again for watching, and if you do like this stream and all the other streams by Chaosium, please like us and subscribe. Thanks again.